How did you hear about Real Deals?
We actually heard about Real Deals through the Billings, Montana store. We were shoppers, first-time homeowners, couldn't afford much, and Tyler's grandma actually told us about Real Deals, so we used to stop by once a week.
How long a drive is that?
We were living in Billings at the time,
Oh,
and so it was okay. But we used to go up, I don't know, monthly and see my folks and my grandma.
Yeah.
And
It's an hour and 24 miles, so about 2 hours.
that was the place we lived.
yeah. Did you both go? Did you?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was a fun store.
Yeah.
It was.
We like it. It's a good atmosphere.
Yeah.
It was a great atmosphere.
What was your first impressions of it when you walked in?
I was surprised at how inexpensive stuff was. Still am.
I was just awed. It's so much to take in when you first walk into a Real Deals. You're like, what's happening here? You know, there's so much to look at. So,
Well, what were your thoughts initially as a shopper about the 2-day-a-week model?
interesting, you know, how does that work kind of thing.
Somebody just kind of in their spare time, this is what they wanted to do. It was more of a hobby than a business. And,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
I
a
guess
good
I never
point.
put a lot
But
of
then
thought
after
into
the first trip, you're kind of like, Thursday, I gotta be there Thursday.
I remember
And it
driving
doesn't-
around the parking lot waiting for parking spots.
Waiting
I mean,
because there was no parking.
There was no parking. Yeah, you just had to wait.
But then wait. If you really wanted to go, you were gonna wait.
How did you start exploring the option of owning a business? And
We got a letter in the mail, and actually in August, and I sat on it. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize it was a franchise. And we sat on it for about 6 months, and then just decided, well, actually, we thought we were too young, that no one would ever,
Yeah, there was no way we could do it. It was just
But, yeah.
a pipe dream.
how awesome would that be for Real Deals in the Sheridan, but there wasn't a possibility of us being able to do it. And then I don't know what changed. I just think,
We were sitting on the couch, just kind of hanging out. And we should do that. We should totally do that.
so we called Nate, and he gave us the information, and then I started working on a business plan, and I interviewed bankers,
Yeah, not the other way
my
around.
personality, to see the reception. I visited with other business owners to see like what banks or how they approach banks, and she told me of an experience she had that wasn't great. So I thought rather than taking my business plan in and getting shot down right away, that I would interview the bankers, and everything just worked out. We met the perfect banker. He was really awesome. Without even looking at our business plan, he was like, let's make this work, and went from there.
how did you explain who we are?
I explained the 2 days a week concept, and that it was home decor, and so he had some questions about that. You know,
But he was, I mean, very receptive to the 2 days a week thing as opposed to
Yeah.
us waiting on customers to come into our store. They waited on us for us to be open for them to come.
that
to
it was
us.
exciting.
Yep.
What advice would you give to someone who is looking to open a store?
It's a lot of hard work.
It is a
I
lot of
mean,
hard work.
We put a lot of ourselves into it. We
We
did
take a lot of
work
pride
ourselves.
in it.
But yeah, I think that's why we take so much pride in it, because we put everything we had into it.
Yeah,
Because it's a big deal.
it is a big deal. I don't think there's anything I would do differently, to be honest.
I was thinking the same thing.
How many employees do you have?
It's just
One.
I was
We
gonna
have
say,
one.
yeah, her sister and her full time, and then
And then we have Tyler's dad comes to help us on
Whenever I can
Saturdays.
help.
When Tyler's here, he helps. And
that's
so
it.
We're thinking about hiring another part-time person for days we're open, but right now, I mean, it's been good, and we've kept up. A lot of family help.
Now tell me how you found your building when you started the search.
Oh
What
man,
was
there were
ours?
lots of tears involved. in
See,
that.
ours was a fluke. It was,
Yeah.
It wasn't advertised. It didn't know the guy.
We didn't even know the building existed. We're in a closed-in alleyway.
Yep. We responded to a Craigslist ad, and I knew who the guy was. It was advertising it because he's got a couple buildings in Sheridan. But the building that we were interested in, he didn't want to rent to us. He's like, "Oh, I got this other one," and I'm like, "I don't know, man. It's pretty rough." But
We had to go through a back entrance because the man door wasn't
yeah,
usable.
it was
the front man door.
jammed shut. That you could see right through the front of the buildings. There was big holes, and it was just terrible. Garbage just piled up out front.
This is your current building.
Yeah, it's
It's gorgeous now. We worked with him. We did a lot of work to the building. We negotiated a price. We actually had free rent for a while because we invested some money into the building.
now a very discounted rent.
and a
because
very
we
discounted rent, yes.
Invested a lot of money into it. Not a lot.
And no, not a lot of money. With that being said, what our investment was and what we pay now for rent, it was cheaper than we could have found
Anywhere
for
else.
lease anywhere else. And the building just has so much character. It's like it has this real brick on the sides, and
very tall ceilings,
Yeah.
cement floor. Like I said, it's very rustic, but it's
We get a lot
it's
of
really
compliments
neat.
on it. And was this always here?
Yeah, there's people that live there their whole life and have never noticed that building.
What part of town is it in? Is it?
It's
Oh,
off-
we're here in Twin Falls,
Right.
right? So this is industrial. You never in a million years
This
guess.
used to be, like I said, it was an alley in the 1900s. It's a 120-year-old building, easy. That they just closed in, and the railroad tracks used to run behind it. And the buildings beside us, they'd unload, produce and everything out of everything in by train then. So it's right off of Main Street.
2 blocks off.
Yeah, but it's still kind of a unpopulated area. It was the more industrial-ish kind of stuff.
So are people surprised when they come see it? Like
Yeah.
the
But-
discovery?
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
But you know what's nice is that now that we're there, there's development happening.
yeah, and
There.
the guy we rent from owns a building across from us too, and he's putting a building in across from us, a restaurant, specifically because
We're here.
we're there in his other building. And we're busy all the time. It's an easy advertisement for him.
So how long did it take you to find the building from the time that you?
2 months
Yep, 2
to
months.
get
2
to get
months.
a lease, to get
When-
him nailed down.
Nate flew in. We had 3 buildings to show him.
What's been the most successful advertising that you've done?
I think the postcards because I remember when my mom and my grandma used to get postcards, it was a big deal. I mean, they were super excited. I mean, seriously, it was a big deal. That's all they talked about.
I think postcards and full page ads.
Yeah.
And we're doing a direct mailer right now through another like a Impact magazine, it's called, and they do coupons. That's been very successful for us too.
What's the favorite part about your store? What do you like the most?
I love when people walk in the front door and it's their first to visit, and they're like, and you can hear them just like suck in all the air, and they're like, "Where has this place been?" Oh my gosh, Sheridan needed something like this. That to me is very exciting. It's like very satisfying.
It's very reassuring
Yeah.
that you did something good.
That all of our hard work that they are noticing, customers notice, and then they come back every week. I think that's really exciting for me.
Yep.
I'm Kayla, and this is Tyler. We own Real Deals in Sheridan, Wyoming.
You get to do it.
Okay. I'm Kayla, and this is Tyler Hurt, and we own the Sheridan, Wyoming Real Deals. I did it backwards, but.
We're pretty like each
Okay.
other.
We own Real Deals in Sheridan, Wyoming. Better?
Do it one
sound-
more time. Yeah.
That was the
Go ahead.
sound
I
of
can't
crashing.
stop looking.
And then you look off to the.
Yeah,
sorry.
I get wandering eyes.
Okay, I'll do it
It's
one
awkward
more
to stare right at it.
Ready? I'm Kayla, and this is Tyler. We own Real Deals in Sheridan, Wyoming.
Right on.